Hi everyone, today we'll discuss this problem on Leetcode. We have to find the number of islands in a 2D matrix where uh, 1 is denoting land and 0 is denoting water. And in the first example, if we see, we cannot include 1 and 1 as a land which is diagonal, but we can include what is on the right, left, and upside and down. So in this case, there is only one island which starts from this one and then covers, and then the rest of that is water. In this example, the two ones in first and second row make a island, while uh, the one in the third row is an island as well, with only one. And then we have another island in the fourth row. So we'll use DFS for this, because if you see that if you find a land which is one, and then you go forward and find all the ones which are connected to that one, that will make an island. So each time you find a already unvisited one, that will be and you start doing DFS from that. And the number of time you do such DFS searches will be the number of islands, because once you start a land which was not already visited, it connects to all the ones, and all those ones are marked as visited, and then you go ahead and look for another one. So what we'll do is we'll start using DFS for this. We'll just see that we'll have our preliminary checks. If array is null, if it has no rows, and if indeed it has, it should have at least one column. And if it is not the case, if it is the case that it is not a valid, you just return 0, that there is not possible to find the elements. So we'll need auxiliary arrays of the places where the items are already visited. So what we'll do is we'll just declare them, and number of rows are arr dot length, sorry, and calls are arr o length, right? And here it is rows call. So the auxiliary array is of the same size of the input array, and then we can move into different directions but not diagonally. So let's uh, specify which directions we can go. We'll use this array later on by in DFS by finding out which of the directions you can go. So we can go into 4 directions, right? One is on, let's go to the left, which is we'll go to -1. We'll go to the left. Let's go towards the right, and we'll go up where you just change the y-axis element, and we go down where you change the y-axis as negative. And then we iterate each row. You start with the row 1 and iterate all its elements to see from where you want to start, right? And for each row, you, as I said, you iterate the elements, iterate the columns, right? So j has to be less than the number of columns. For each column in a row, right, you just check if the value in that is a land. If it is a land, we just check if it is already not visited by our DFS. If it is not, then that's a place to start, right? Because it can be an element, it is a part of an island, right? Even a single one is an island. So what we do is here, if this is a part, right, we start doing DFS here. This is start searching and cover the whole island and mark it as visited. Okay, so we'll uh, write the uh, depth first search method. So DFS basically uh, starts from a point which is valid and then finds the first uh, option which is valid, and then does a recursive DFS call uh, on that option and moves unless and until it does not have anything else to visit, and then comes back and starts from the next option, which is not how uh, BFS works. So what we do is, we know from this position you can go 4 directions. So we'll just uh, go in every direction. So from all the directions, we pick up each direction. So we have to pass directions here, which is a 2D array. Sorry. So we go ahead and go in each direction, but we go in each direction and see first if it is a valid direction, right? So we just have to write a method which says that the new direction is a valid direction for you. So it returns a boolean, and you pass a location to it, and you ask uh, the uh, the method if I should visit that. First of all, it has to be valid. It has not to be already visited, and it has to be a 1, right? Because you will not want to go to the water. You will just want to be on the land, right? So we first check if the coordinates are right, that x is greater than equal to 0 and x is less than or equal to arr dot length minus 1, right? And y has to be greater than 0 and y has to be within the number of columns. So we could pass the column actually, so, but let's calculate here. And if this is a case, right, if the position is within the matrix, right, so what we do is then we should check if it is worth visiting. Now we know that position is valid. First, it has to be the land. It has not to be water, and it it should not already be visited. And this has to be not visited, right? So it has to be a valid point within matrix, not already visited, plus has to be a land. Then it is a valid position. So in each direction, so when we add the direction coordinates from that point, so we suppose we have to go towards the left or right or up or down, we find what is in the array and we add it to I. We find the new y coordinate with the second element in the 1D array. And then what we do is, if is valid, to valid we pass new x and y, the array itself, visited. Okay, yeah. If it is valid, then we go for DFS. For DFS, what we pass? The location, the array which denotes the visited values by this or another DFS call, the array and the directions we can go. So if it is valid, it will start a DFS. And here we'll call DFS. DFS takes positions, the visited array, array itself, and directions. And every time, as I said, when the DFS is called, the that is an island itself, because once you land on a land, it will visit everyone in that which is connected to that land. And once the controls comes back, that means all the lands are visited in that island. So every time DFS is called, we do islands plus plus. And when the for loop is finished, that means there is nothing else to traverse. We just return islands. So let's just see if there are any compilation issues. Mhm. Boolean rows, line number 8. Okay, sorry, it has to be new Boolean. Mhm. There is a typo. Mhm. ARR directions. Has to be I. Mhm. Oh, okay, so every time we visit a node, what we do is we mark it as visited. Here also we have to mark it as visited. If it is valid, we say that we have already visited that. And then is not visited. Okay, let's just submit it. Mhm. Output is 5, whereas X is ARR length, Y is length minus 1, and has not to be visited. This is right. Okay, so this was a problem. There was a typo that we were passing I, not J. So I just fixed it offline and then it works. So with that, I'll just end the demo. If you have any query or on an improvement over this, just give that in comments. I'll be happy to review it. Thank you.